Yes, people. Welcome back to another edition of the ManDem United podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. And big up to Emmanuel in the cut saying Flawless is always late. What else is new? Facts, yo, in it. What does Madame Matisse say? Lateness is greatness in it. It's really not, but we are here, people. We are here, like I said, the ManDem United podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. A lot's gone on with Manchester United. For those obviously can see the title, ERIK Ten HAG is confirmed as Manchester United next manager, so he'll be coming in the summer. But before we get to that, we got games to get to, so I know you lot will have questions on that, which is cool. We'll also do a ManDem United podcast special talking about all those things. But yo, Manchester United ain't the only people bringing in new additions in that, so I had to bring this guy over in it. Special guest, first time on the channel. We should have made this happen a long time ago, but he be mad busy, I be mad busy, and I wanted to get him over here when it was only right in it. This is someone who, if you're in the content creator space, not just Arsenal fans, if you are in the content creator space, you know this guy in it. Like, I long knew this guy before he knew me. So to have him over here, it's crazy, and we work with a lot of the same people. I've been on his channel before. Make sure you get over to his Twitch, check out his watch-alongs, his football managers. He even be taking his top off because he's stressed during watch-alongs. My lad, the Luda Guna, is in the building. What are you telling me, fam? You good? You on mute, fam? You're on mute. You're on mute. Yo, deluded, you're on mute. This guy can't hear me. Yo, fam, you're on mute. You're on mute. Yeah.
Sorry, my guy. Just as I was saying, I didn't even have a time to look. It's like that little segment there. You're killing me, man. I appreciate you for having me.
It's only right, man. It's only right. You gotta give the big introduction to the big guest. You know what I'm saying? And that you gotta give the correct. I always give the introductions to the special guest. You feel me? And that. Man just don't have anyone over here. You get what I'm saying? And that. So it's only right that man had you over. Like I was saying, and you're someone who I knew of before I was in this content creator space. You feel me?
Appreciate that, my guy.
I'm saying in it, and you continue to work hard and elevate, fam. So you, man.
Thank
you
know
what I'm saying? It's people who watch you do your watch-alongs, you're doing your football manager, Arsenal content. Obviously, you do the show with Ransom Matisse as well. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But what are you telling me, Deluded? You good anyway? And welcome, man. It's been too long, man. Welcome.
Yeah, man. Like you said, and you said multiple times, it's been overdue, man. It made sense. We had to get it done, man. So yeah, I'm happy to be making my debut. Happy to talk football with people that love the game at its purest level. Unfortunately, you don't really support the right club, but it is where it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. We ups. You know what I'm saying? Even though we cool, it's like the family members like, I fuck with you, but like come Saturday, like that's not the thing.
It's not a personal, it's business, man. I can't lie.
It's not a personal, it's business. But yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. So normally I say on the show, people keep all your questions Manchester United related, but no, obviously Arsenal questions. Any Arsenal questions you have for Deluded, feel free. Or you might have a United question for him, or you might have an Arsenal question for me. So that's calm.
Come on, get them in, people, man.
Yeah. Big up Emmanuel says, coincidence that 2 days after Liverpool smash us, they conveniently have an announcement video and everything ready to go. I think not. The annoying part is 80% of the fan base will buy their PR crap. Emmanuel, we all knew it was happening. I said it during the Liverpool watch-along. I was like, they're going to announce Ten Hag tomorrow to stem from the defeat. You know what I'm saying? And that. But even off all United, forget all that. We'll go to you, Deluded, because you're in a better mood than I am in terms of the last result. You got a big win.
24 hours.
Stamford Bridge. Oh, yeah. Big win. You got a big win at Stamford Bridge to score 4. Eddie and Ketty brace. So obviously, not only beating Chelsea, which you love to do because it's London rivals, but also in the top 4 race in it. So your thoughts on the game? You know what I'm saying? Now you've slept on it.
I mean, once the dust settles, again, it's cliche, but it's about getting the result in it. Was it our most cleanest of performance? Was it pretty defensively for both teams? It was a shambles. So if we would have lost, it would have been one of them games where I have plenty of time. My man said he hates seeing DG smile. That man, allow it, man. Bro, I like seeing you smile, mate. I like to see my friends doing well. Why are you hating? What's wrong with this guy, man? Big up, Stat, man. What's wrong with you, man? Look at your Cristiano Ronaldo posters or something, his topless posters in your bedroom, you waste, man. Anyways, away from this, as I was saying, obviously we showed bravery, we showed desire, we showed heart. Defensively, we was a shambles, and that first 5 to 10 minutes in the game gave me a bit of a heart problem. But we got through, man. I mean, Chelsea didn't have their key players. We never had ours. I'm happy to win. Want to see us go on a run now. For me, I'm only happy for 24 hours, really, because we've got to focus on you, man, and beyond. Again, shamelessly, I guess as every Arsenal fan, I'm back screaming top 4 and try to do this and whatnot. I wasn't saying that before, but I'm happy we stopped losing, man. Again, we might lose on Saturday or beyond, but again, 0 points from 9 sounds bad. 0 points from 12 potentially sounds like, if you're trying to do serious things, you can't afford for that.
No,
so I'm happy it weren't the cleanest of games. There was, I think Odegaard had a great game. Nice to see my Highland guys do what they're doing. But yeah, man, it is what it is, really. I want to go on and run the games, man. We're a bit of a weird team. We do it in sequences. When we lose, it's never just one and done. It's just a madness, and then we go again, man. So it is what it is, man. Stat man, shush, man. Just
Bainzy on your case, I thought it was just being it.
He's never like this. He's acting up for your people. Them. He's never like this when it's just, stop being brand new, stat man.
I know, Bainzy. Hey, Bainzy, if you want the link, hop on, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Because the Brian said it was not hot in London. Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask you because I was doing a stream. I wanted to so I was doing. Yeah, it was Red Talk. So I was with Rants after the recap. And I think you lot had lost. I think it was last weekend. I think it was the Brighton game. I'm not sure. Was it Southampton?
Yeah, Southampton.
And man was saying in the chat how, like, yo, the Ludic took his top off. He's stressed.
Do you know what's jarring about that? Yeah. Do you know what's jarring? It's hot over here. It was hot in London that day. Yeah. So I'm telling these like I'm dying in a football shirt, anyways, much like now. So I was looking for a reason to take it off, anyways, and just get a vest or just chill. And then Arsenal lost. I was like, there's no point wearing it in it. So it was starting before, but it made sense in it. But I'll have to wear the shirts loud and proud today, man. It is what it is. But yeah, that's right, man. That's what they're referring to, man.
As you should, because I was like, yo, why is the Lude like, what's going on that I missed because I didn't watch your game live? And I was like, what's going on? It was like the Ludes took his top off. But I did watch the Chelsea game against Arsenal yesterday, and I was like, it was a good game. Like, it was much more
for the
entertaining than I expected. Yeah. It was entertaining. I didn't expect to see 6 goals. I thought it was going to be like a dull 1-0, 2-1 max.
That's it. But then at the same time, when I look back in hindsight, both have error-prone defensive sides. I know Chelsea have won the Champions League and things, but they do have their mistakes. We've got a young squad, potentially certain defenders that are not good enough. So we're always prone to see this maybe inferior. Like you said, I didn't expect to see 6 goals, but I did kind of think that. And I feel the one key part about Chelsea is they ain't really the most strongest structured side at the moment, and we was able to take advantage of that. If they were more, spot on defensively, wouldn't have broke them down. It was an open game. In hindsight, that probably played to our strengths, really.
Yeah, it is because they was missing their first team players, and it showed. The players they was missing, it showed the likes of Thiago Silva, even though we came on, Rudiger, Reece James played, but the likes of Chilwell, Jorginho, Kovacic, Havertz, even though we came on. Yeah, Bainesy, I'm gonna send you the link now. Give me a second. Big up to Marshall in the cut as well. But I wanted to get your thoughts on it because I'm gonna give mine, and because people are gonna ask me. But Ten Hag being now announced as the next boss of Manchester United in the summer. What's your thoughts on that? How did you look at that?
If I was a United fan, I'd be excited. Obviously, football heritage, the Dutch, all of that sort of stuff. If I was a United fan, and what would give me slightly more optimism, and more than me, you're seeing scouts leave and things like that. I've always said, like, bringing a manager in, especially with my club, is half the job. You've either got to commit to what he's doing or whatever. I always give the example: if a man's trying to make apple juice and he's the best apple juice maker there is for the job, and you're bringing a man oranges and pineapples, it's a myth. So yeah, it's a myth, innit? It's dead, innit? So if you lot make the changes off the field, then I'll be shook. Again, and it's what you lot need because you're playing catch up to Liverpool and City, but I think that's a step in the right direction. I think a lot of them players, I know the name Harry Maguire, a lot of people probably don't want to hear that. These sort of guys, I think their days are numbered there, really. Interesting appointment for you lot and interesting for the league because obviously he's got a reputation, fan optimism and things, and you see what he can do tactically and things like that. So I'm keen to see what he offers, man. I'm keen to see him versus Pep, the bold man's derby and whatnot.
Yeah. Baldy versus Baldy, and
literally.
That's legit what it is. Like, I like Ten Hag. I do like the appointment for all the things you've just mentioned there, and I've spoke about it before, and just how that cultural reset is needed within the club. Like, it isn't just him. Like, the fact that scouts are getting sacked, the fact that Ralph has called out the medical staff after the Liverpool game, he spoke about we need 10 new players, other things like that. Like, I love all of that because it's what myself and others have been talking about. You know what I'm saying? And look at this guy, background, loud and proud. Welcome Baines to the show. What are you saying, Baines?
Listen, I told you, mental madness, isn't it?
What a guy, man.
Mental madness.
Nah, but I've been onto the John Myrtle craze from earlier.
You have been on the Myrtle. You was the first on the John Myrtle bandwagon. I will give you full credit for that. So thoughts, Bainesy. Smile away, fam. Get it off your chest.
Listen, first of all, big up DGs, or
don't read me, man. Thank you. Don't read me. He asked you a question, man. He asked you a question. Just answer his question, bro. Appreciate it, man. I hope you're doing well the same. But answer the question, bro. I want you still.
I said it with Myrtle. I think he has the right vision for this club. Whether people like it or not, look what he's done for the club now. Ralph Rangnick wanted him, or I think he spoke with Ralph Rangnick in 2019, flew over to Germany, got him in. For the academy, did massive work there. Women's team, massive work there. Women's team got promoted in the first season. And now they're competing with one of the best women's teams, or they're a comfortable side in the Premier League, like they WSL, whatever they're called. Everton done his thing. You have to praise him. And I think I said this, yeah. You need to remember, this guy's probably working with his hands tied behind his back as well. He probably is knowing how this club is. So you have to respect the job he's done. I think the only reason he got Ralph Rangnick in initially as interim is because I think that's the only way the club would have accepted him having a consultancy role. And the mad thing is, there was a report today that said Darren Fletcher and John Myrtle chose Ten Hag.
Yeah.
And then they spoke with Ralph, and Ralph gave the final yes. And I'm just like, you have to say fair play to him. Fair play to John Myrtle. He might not be like the foreign name, the big name that everyone praises, but the job he's doing right now, you have to say, you know what? Credit where credit is due.
Yeah, it is. And that's the reason why I started laughing halfway through, because I realized that it's John Myrtle and Fletcher behind you and on your
like Fletcher lesser winner, but John Myrtle, I said this, I think massive praise.
This guy is unbelievable shit.
But I've been on to Myrtle praise from.
I get what you're saying. No, that's not wrong. Madness? I will fully give you credit for that. I always give you credit where credit's due.
He's gonna replace Ronaldo on your walls, isn't it?
Yeah. I said. I said this. You said this months ago, so I will give you full credit for it. You said Myrtle madness, and I was thinking, what are you talking about?
And the thing is,
it's going in the right direction. Go on, baby.
I was doing more research on it as well. Yeah, you know, with John Myrtle, you know the two scouts that he got rid of, or the two scouts the club left.
Yeah,
they weren't heavy on the data side of it, innit? And when John Myrtle first came into the club, he said that like there was a report that about him trying to sort out like the data side of football kind of thing, in terms of how the sign plays, similar to how City and Liverpool do it. So he's always had like a forward-thinking way of football. It's just that the club have kind of, like as I said, been working with his hands tied behind his back. And now it's finally coming into alignment kind of thing. We got rid of two scouts. The scout that's been kept is the one that's heavy on data as well.
I did not know this, because I didn't know who the scouts who had been sacked. I knew nothing. I just knew they weren't good. I just know whoever is involved was getting things wrong there. That's all man knew.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Like, United are taking a step in the right direction. Whether people think these people are experienced enough to do the job, that's a different story. But you have to give credit where credit is due. Darren Fletcher as well. I've done some research on him as well. Yeah, you know Darren Fletcher's main role at the club is to work with the technical director.
But you don't know Fletcher's role in your heart. You don't know Fletcher's real job.
No, but I think one of his main roles is...
Rance was saying today, apparently he was joining in training sessions and that, and Rangnick was drawing him out, man. You're doing some capping, man. They might have maybe some people. What's going on?
This guy, trust me, have it. But one of Darren Fletcher's main roles here is to work with Nick Cox, who's our head of academy, innit? And find a strategy to get these young players into the first team. And funnily enough, as I said, our academy has massively improved over the last couple of years. Nicky Butt deserves credit for that. John Myrtle deserves credit for that. Now it's all about finding the pathway.
Myrtle madness. Love that. I hear you, Bainesy. You're the guy to talk to about this, because I don't know about like the infrastructure and the youth system and what exactly the likes of John Myrtle and Fletcher and others do type of thing. I just know it's bad on the pitch. So it's like I don't want to see how it's like bad food. You don't want to see how the bad food is made. Like, that just makes it worse. You don't want to see behind the scenes of what's going on when the film is terrible.
And the next thing is Paul Mitchell now. That's going to be very, very interesting, because I think
that's a lit signing if it happens still.
The way I look at it, I think Ralph wants him. I think John Myrtle will probably want him. It's just about if the club will do it now. Because we are seeing a massive change in the football structure and then the way we're looking at plays by the looks of it.
No, I let's see what you're saying there, fam. Yeah, we'll soon find out. Again, you lot continue to get your questions in. Yeah, whether it's United, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's both, we will preview the game. Do not worry about that. EFAC says, is it just me who thinks this Maguire thing is a PR stunt? We'll go to you on that, Deluded. What's your thoughts? I don't know if you've seen it, but reports.
Do you know what? Yeah.
craziness is going on. But go on.
I have seen that, and on one hand, obviously, if it's true and there's bomb threats and any of that, any decent human being doesn't condemn that. As poor as he's on a football field, he doesn't deserve that. Where I kind of think it might be something like that is because, again, I was on Rance's stream earlier and he kind of spoke about how Roy Keane, it was an innocent comment by Roy Keane, but when you sit there and deep it, it's mad. They were like, we're trying to get some PR regarding Maguire. When you've got that, the whole thing, like a few months ago, I swear he had something with England, and like the whole fan base or the whole footballing world was kind of saying sorry to him, like something happened. I'm inclined to believe potentially, bro, it could be the PR stunt at a time where you are terrible against Liverpool, can't really buy any luck himself personally. It could be, I hope it's not, and I hope whoever, he's safe and whatnot, but I can't rule it out, really. It wouldn't be too far-fetched in line with what media does today in this day and age. It wouldn't surprise me, bro.
No, that ain't we saying. And that's a sad, indictment, the fact that something as crazy and as wrong as that is brought out. And then the fact that you stated that, and it could be true, because we know what the media is like and how far potentially they could go to defend a man on the football pitch, because we know he's been poor. Like I said, we could see the 4 goals at Liverpool, and he was at fault for all 4. He played a part in all 4 goals, and that's not even a joke, people. That's not a witch hunt. That's not an agenda. Go back and watch the goals. That's what happened. I couldn't believe it. As I'm watching, and I'm like, I didn't expect Manchester United to get beat, unlike some, but we're gonna get onto that, Bainesy. Don't worry about that. But he was at fault. There was one point where one of the goals he made 2 mistakes. So we can see the 4 goals and he made 5 errors.
So the young man knocked the river there with a poor pass as
well. Oh, yeah. That's one of them. If you play me that play inside the league, I'm kicking off. You don't play me that pass. Don't do that.
That's a hospital pass.
Yes, hospital ball and that. What are you saying, Bainesy? Your thoughts on the Maguire thing? Do you think it's potentially a PR stunt?
Nah, man, I actually think it's a jail. You know how United fans are sometimes.
That's true.
Football fans as a whole, lunatics.
Yes.
They're idiots. People take football too far, and I genuinely think this is the case. And you need to remember, this is not just Harry Maguire living by himself. There are kids involved.
Yeah.
There's girls involved in it. This is a serious matter. Why United fans are even going to do that? Idiots.
Well, because that is the thing is that the reason why also, like we said, the media will go to crazy lengths. We know football fans will go to crazy lengths because we've seen it when players make mistakes. They'll get racially abused, they'll get personal abuse, they'll get death threats and all of this nonsense. And it's like, right, it's football. I'm not a fan of Maguire. I don't think he should be captain. I don't want him at the football club. But I'm not going to threaten him. I ain't going to threaten his family, like his woman, his kids and all that. That's way too far. Football is the most important of least important things, and it's like people always want to take it over the top. I can't remember when it was, what it was, but we went to Ed Woodward. Fans went to Ed Woodward's house, and I think it was before we signed Bruno.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was before we signed Bruno.
Signings before. Yeah, signings and that, and it's like, yo, why are you turning up at a man like that? That's too much. There's ways to go about
familiarity, man. Bloody hell.
Yeah, go on, talk about it, deluded.
I just think it's over familiarity, broski. It's like the entitlement to think you can turn up at a man's house where his family is, where it should be a safe haven, where as poor as Maguire or anyone is, if it is true, no one's trying to be shit on purpose. It's crazy, man, and it's the latest one where you're if you're looking at if you're a footballer, boy, you might as well spend a bag on security, man. If these things are true, because before they even get to do any of that, there's certain layers and things, and whether it's houses being robbed, people getting abused, people going out about their day and things happening. It's scary, man, because he must. As I know, Maguire comes out and puffs out his chest in the interviews and things, but it's got to take its toll on you. Football's one of them. If you play shit, you probably don't want to leave the house. You probably can't go to your favorite restaurant, your local petrol station, and things. And you've got that now. And like Bainesy rightly said as well, family, kids, wife, and that. It's crazy. As a man, our job's to protect. You can't really feel. He probably feels helpless and. It's crazy, man. But as you know, football fans are hypocrites, man. Again, commiserations to someone like Cristiano Ronaldo for what he's gone through. But prior to that, and people will all say sorry about it and we're sorry for your losses. They'll get back to being cunts tomorrow, just like they did the day before. They don't give a shit about nothing. It's sad, man.
100%. It was. And Brian, he's down. You saying Statman? Are you sure about all this? I back Statman on this because he is. When it comes to the United structure and youth system, like he's proper top rated.
You can search up these articles on what John Might has done.
See, there you go, Brian. Isn't it? You don't doubt the source of Bainesy in it. Like when he's making predictions and stuff on United games, different. But when he's talking about behind the scenes stuff, he's on point. So talk to me, Bainesy. What happened against Liverpool? Because obviously we did this. We was on the show, ManDem United.
I thought we were doing Arsenal
literally before
preview.
the game.
Benzi, you might be a director, boy. Maybe you should leave the footballing chat to your homie here, boy. I can't lie. Stick to that structure bullshit, man. I can't lie.
We
are here for Arsenal preview and to talk 10 HAG, but we still got to talk previous. Because that had United won, you would have come in here jumping. You would have come in here jumping, talk about how United won, and we was all wrong. So talk to us, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
what happened
like major comebacks in it. We'll put in a performance on Saturday.
I'm just saying buzzwords.
Yeah.
No, but to be fair, Flawless. Yeah, to be fair.
Go on, babe.
We done a preview. What was it, on Monday?
No, Tuesday was before the game, fam.
No,
before the game.
Monday, but I said we'll lose 3-1. It was just Tuesday. The top red thing in me came out, and I said you will win. But my realistic prediction was 3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah. Stop capping, man. You come out with your chest on Twitter, man. I'm not trying to hear that, man.
But that was on the day.
I don't care about days and this and that. You took your fingers them and typed that shit. That's all that matters, fam.
And this guy retweeted for no reason, you know.
He deserved that, fam.
It's only right. Even I laugh, fam, and I'm a United fan. Even I responded after the game. It was like, why would you?
I was at to firm that, man.
You asking for trouble in that.
Literally.
Why would you tweet
legend,
that?
man.
I had a bit of confidence going into that game.
You're a legend, man.
Why, fam? What confidence did you have?
No, but as I said, feelings over facts. That
blind optimism, man.
Blind. You know what? That's what it was. Blind optimism in it. Blind.
Are you not confident for the Arsenal game now?
That will get to the Arsenal game. We gonna get there. We gonna get to the Arsenal game because the title of this video would have been different had Ten Hag not come in. But since Ten Hag came in it, a shout out to my guy Eddie because he called it El Trashico, and I was like, yeah, that's correct. That's exactly what this title was gonna be. Arsenal versus United preview, El Trashico. Yeah. That was
It's just a Twitter timeline.
No, it's the social. I said this before. It's the social media derby.
That's what it is.
Derby. The insults on social media are better than the actual game itself because the game's been duds. Apart from the game, the Carrick game this season, the seasons before, it's like 0-0 and I think it was 2-0 or 1-1.
It's just timid performances, man.
Timid. Two boxers who were once cold and are now over the hill fighting each other. You know,
it's like we agreed to just say, let's just get a draw and walk away with it, or who stinks up the place the least, man. Like you have to try really hard to lose these games. It's quite crazy. Us in the reverse fixture, like again, it summed up Arsenal. You know, there's some good, some bad. You know, it was a decent game. I remember Sancho and Tomiyasu both earned plaudits. We took the lead, you know, we got ourselves back into the game with a draw, you know, and then we cocked it all up really and truly. Big Six Banks, shout out to you lot, man. Battle of the Bums. I don't know about them things there, my guy, but you know, everyone's free to do what they want, man.
Shout out Monts in it. That's my guy Monts. Go subscribe to his channel, Liverpool fan. He's been talking about. Hey Monts, just make sure you lot do the business against City, innit? You know what I'm saying? You lot got a lot to do in it. You know what I'm saying? Try and be the bride instead of the bridesmaid all the time. That's all I'm gonna say in it. There's a lot of pressure on you lot in it. You might always do not best man settings in it. You know what I'm saying? How about you man be the groom? But we move. But Bainesy, we'll get to that. Arsenal preview, since you want to get there. Arsenal preview.
God,
how are you looking at it? How does their win at Chelsea change anything?
You know what's mad?
Go on.
These two teams are crap. But the fact that they're going into this game with a win and we're going into this game with a loss fills me with more confidence.
All right, go on, talk.
Because I just don't trust Arsenal to win 2 games in a row, and I don't trust United to lose 2 games in a row either. Now, we're just inconsistent. We'll get a result when people don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
So I still think we would... Actually, I don't know. I still get a draw against Arsenal.
Big man. You don't know how to do the media trained dance.
You know what it is? You know why I fucks with DG? Because he talks to you like how I talk to you. He sees it. He's slick. He sees through your bullshit.
Literally, I'm just thinking, like... If I say we win now, I might get clipped again, and I'm like, nah, let's not.
Bro, just say what you believe, man. If you think you're gonna win, innit?
Okay, I'll be honest.
I thought we'd lose to Chelsea. Okay, you was on my channel where I said I thought we was getting bopped 4-1. I'm happy to be wrong. I think we're losing on Saturday.
The thing
I thought we was losing both of them.
It's more outrageous to say we was going to win at Anfield than it is at the Emirates. That's more reasonable.
If Ronaldo plays, we win.
I'd agree with that. I can't even cap it. As fucked as it is, I'd agree with that as well, man.
Yeah, because I don't trust any... Like, I'm not going into the game with Rashford and Elanga up top against Arsenal.
Do we play a back 3 then?
No. I wouldn't. I'll go with back 4 with Ronaldo's back.
Go with it. I think he goes with a back 4. I reckon Ronaldo will be back. But go on then. So talking, are we going to win, Bainesy? What are you telling me, man?
I said if Ronaldo plays, we win. And then obviously it depends on the state Ronaldo's in, obviously mentally and psychologically and all of that stuff. But I genuinely think we'll beat Arsenal. I don't know how. I think, as I said, our midfield, we still might struggle.
Man said, I don't know how. I love that.
But that's the thing with United. We don't know how we win. We just win, innit?
Trust. Like us yesterday, man.
We kind of used to do that, like before everything just went. Before we got knocked out by Atletico Madrid and everything just went tits up and everybody's on the beach. Like everyone's just waiting on Ten Hag now. That's legit what it is.
Yeah,
everyone's
exactly.
just
But
waiting.
the mad thing is here, I think we have 2 wins in the last 9 in all comps. Both of those games came with a Ronaldo hat-trick, I think.
We have 2 wins from 9.
Yeah, it's bad. But let me double check that.
I did not know it was that bad. That's how much I've just tuned out. Since the Atletico Madrid game, I've just tuned out. I did not know we have 2 wins from Spurs and Norwich.
Draw against Atletico, draw against Watford, loss against City, beat Tottenham with Ronaldo hat-trick, lost against Atletico, drew against Leicester, lost against Everton, beat Norwich with Ronaldo hat-trick, and lost against Liverpool.
You know what it is? It's because I haven't watched a couple of the games because I've been out. That's why I missed a couple of that. So, all right, so you're saying United win if Ronaldo plays. All right, let's say Ronaldo doesn't play, Bainesy. What are you telling me?
Then Arsenal win. I think it's as simple as that.
So you reckon Ronaldo's the key difference maker in this game?
He is. And it's not even just about his ability mentality. We know some of these players on the beach already. Ronaldo's the only one that actually cares. Say he's paying for himself what you want, yeah? At least he paid for something.
How much is he paying you for this one?
You're
doing it so you're right, but you're doing it so subtly. It's becoming that Ronaldo stuff. Someone needs to play the violin, man. Come on.
No, but am I wrong though?
You're not wrong. That's why I hate you for saying this.
But you know I'm speaking the truth.
You're talking sense. I hate when I have to agree with you. You make me want to disagree with you all the time now. I can't let you become a villain.
No, but that's basically in it.
You are
you're right, man. I agree still.
All right, we'll go to you.
How do you think going into the game?
Yeah, go on, Bainesy.
What did you ask me?
Yeah. Go on, deluded.
No. Stop, what did you say? I need to answer your question.
How do you feel going into the game?
Define how do you feel? How do you feel is a subjective answer and a subjective question.
How do you think the game will go there?
Bainesy out here hosting the show. Your time, fam. Your time.
How do I think the game's gonna go? We're just gonna have to see on the day, man. It all depends, man. You know, I can't lie. You lot, do you know what it is with you lot against us? You lot have battered us, but a lot of the time when you lot have won, it's just so jammy, and I can see these things happening. Like it's one of them where if you're a United fan, you're probably screaming Arsenal win and vice versa. So I don't know, man. You lot are unpredictable. I think if it comes down to who's going to finish, you lot have more finishes than us. Like, obviously, a lot went right against Chelsea, but I can't guarantee Eddie Nketiah, who deserves to start, is going to bag. Even the goals he scored, they've been Bandulu things. Someone's made a mistake, and then, you know, the other things happen. I big him up, but it's things like that. We were terrible defensively, you know. And again, I don't think we learn our lessons. I don't think when we played Crystal Palace in the second game, we learned our lessons from the first one. The same goes for Brighton. All I want them to do is forget Chelsea. Go and watch the game we played against Old Trafford. Don't watch the ones where El Nene and Partey did all right. Watch the game at this season in the first half of it, because you lost that game yourselves. You know, you got yourselves in ahead, then you lot took the lead. You got yourself a point, regardless of how good your team or bad your team is. If my team want to be a top 4 side, you need to be able to go to your place, to Anfield and things like that, and get decent results. You didn't do that at Old Trafford. Put it right. You know, the big point of that game, you mentioned Ronaldo. We do naive things. You know, these guys score goals because of movement. We didn't follow runners. So I just feel it's a game where we could be our best friends or our worst enemies. And I said it before. I said it when we started speaking about this. I think we're going to lose. I want to be wrong. Do not get it twisted. But I just think it's a 1-0, 2-0 to you, man. I think we'll come out. We'll be fairly confident. But it's our reactions to setbacks, man. And that's what scares me. And, you know, when you got certain players that are mentality monsters, it could go left, man. But, you know, at least if I just need a Haaland guy to do something. I need to leave with something. I need some sort of agenda to be able to run. But, yeah, man, I think you lot will win it, man. I hope for a draw or a win.
Yeah, to me. So you're saying a United win. Bainesy's saying if Ronaldo plays, United win.
He's saying bare shit, man. Like, he's saying bare things, man. He's saying bare things. Like, he don't even know what he's saying, man. He's just chatting, man.
I fucks with these. You know what? I'm glad it's not just me in it. You know what I'm saying? And that treats you a set way in it. Because Deluded's the exact same goal. And that,
he
and
does
you know
this on
my
channel week in, week out.
He does it to me as well, Deluded, all of the time and that. And then I know his bullshit when he goes, nah. That's a key. That means on the way in it. And he goes, nah.
He starts repenting for his sins and shit.
Yes. If Ronaldo plays, you win. That's it. Simple as that.
So he's saying if United win. To me, I'm saying this has got draw written all over it. I don't think it's going to be a good game, number one. Yes, the Chelsea-Arsenal game surprised me because I thought Chelsea would win the game. I
Same.
don't see that happening again. Chelsea, even though United are on the beach, we still have something to fight for within this top 4, even though we are. Whereas Chelsea, they've got nothing to look forward
Just
to
the FA Cup
outside
thing
the
in the
FA
end
Cup.
of the season.
Legit. And the lineup that Tuchel, if put it this way, if Chelsea were chasing the title or were in a legitimate top 4 race, he doesn't play that team. His stronger players are playing. And I think United will, I can't even say the players will be up for it. But all right, the players will be more up for it than they were at Anfield, which isn't tough. Arsenal, they'll be up for
said
it
it's a
too.
free hit, so that should give man a bit more confidence.
That's what. See, I didn't even know Lingard. If Lingard's saying that, that tells you all you need to. But it's got a draw written all over it. I don't think there's much between the two teams. Even if you want to say Arsenal is slightly better, 12:30 kickoff. If Arsenal a little bit better or United a little bit better, this has 0-0 or 1-1 written all over it. Like I said earlier on the show, the majority of these games in recent times have gone that way. The 3-2 was the most exciting one we've had in a minute. When I think about seasons in the past, whether it's been at Old Trafford, whether it's been at the Emirates, the games haven't been exciting. I can't remember the last time we won at the Emirates. This also is why I don't think we'll.
I don't even remember the date, but there's been times. Why I'm scared of you lot, huh?
Go on. Was it Lingard?
I can't. It probably was Lingard, but one game that sticks out for me. There was a game that we're just playing against De Gea. That's why I think you lot can win, because you lot are jammy. Even if everyone, I know De Gea is not De Gea anymore, but there was a game where it was just us versus De Gea. We peppered this you and we didn't score. While I can't remember who played for us, I'm pretty sure we had higher caliber of forwards and whatnots out there. What I'm actually hoping for is that, as you kind of was alluding to, people have a point to prove. And I always talk about playing for yourself. In our 3 defeats prior to yesterday, I didn't think people were playing for themselves, whether that's personal pride, angling for a move, showing the gaff or whatever. People have a reason to play well. I'm not expecting fireworks from Eddie Nketiah. I'm not even expecting a goal, really. You know, as much as I like him, we can't rewrite history. That being said, you've got a reason to play, whether that's for a new contract or to go elsewhere, on top of what Arsenal have. For the whole collective team, I can't lie, you've somehow managed to F up the place, and somehow we're still talking about a chance of fourth. How many lessons do you need to learn? Obviously, fighting for fourth in itself is that. So I hope that, but we're I don't like to say the inexperienced thing, but we're very naive. Naive's the right word. And I don't know, man, because again, it didn't look like depth was an issue in that game, but there's other games we've sat there and said, you know, we missed Partey, we missed Tierney, we missed that, we don't have this, we don't have that. Crazy, man.
Yeah, like I said, I think the game you're talking about was our last win, because I remember that Lingard game against Mourinho, and you lot had like 30-odd shots, and De Gea was just saving everything.
Yeah, he was on the front, man.
Yo, Bainesy, you're good at these type of things. Is that the last time we won at the Emirates in the Premier League?
The De Gea thing,
yeah.
But the last time was the FA Cup.
Yeah, the FA Cup was only the season after. So we're talking what, 2016, 2017?
2017.
That last time we won there in the league, and it's now 2022. I don't see United.
That was December when Paul Pogba got sent off for that tackle on Bellerin, I think.
Yeah. I don't see I don't see a win here. That's what I'm saying in that. And when I say the momentum's, it's because both teams are so inconsistent. I can't say the momentum's with Arsenal. I say the fact they're at home is a help to them. And like I said, the result against Chelsea also will be a man.
At home yesterday. Shout out Arsenal away, man, in that shed of a stadium, man. We was definitely at home yesterday, man. You know what time it is.
Hey, Chelsea fans, you gotta hold that. That's you lot, innit?
Man.
Certain teams conceded 11 goals in 10 days at home, but you know what I'm saying.
Remember last year against the Emirates? Last year at the Emirates.
What?
Nah, because what was the score?
0-0 when that Bozo Cavani missed 2 sitters.
Yeah.
Play him. That's why
he ain't nowhere to be. Yeah, he ain't playing.
He won't even play himself.
Yeah, he ain't playing. Yes, BT, I agree. I defo see a draw.
I'll take that 4 points this week. Calm. I'll take that.
Says, what is he saying there? He says, Arteta got that Ollie judge. When he's supposed to lose, they come out and play. When they're expected to rise, they don't. I've seen other people say this, dude. Where are you on that actually? Because I've not actually. Last time we spoke, obviously it was earlier in Arteta's reign. Where are you on Arteta? Is it based off this season, whether you are Arteta in or Arteta out, like assessing where he's at and where you should be finishing?
It's hard to be in or out, like not to sit on the fence, because I do see a lot of things he does well, but I do think at times he can be his worst enemy. And I do think where Arsenal are concerned, I think where the fan bases are concerned, where there's a small section where it borders beyond vested agendas. Like, I'm committed to Arteta failing, so I don't necessarily care about being wrong, and I'm more committed to seeing Arteta reach this realized potential for what Arsenal could be. That's what concerns me. I don't know, man, because I think I'm getting to that point now where you've shown me you're a good tactician at times. You show me you've got a lot to learn. You're very naive. You can be your worst enemy. Sometimes I feel when he needs to complicate things, he doesn't, and vice versa. So I see a lot, but it's like we're now at a place where there's a foundation per se. There's a base there. We look a bit more healthier. Are you going to be the guy to make us get top 4 and beyond? I don't know, because you've never kind of done that. Like even this season, I don't like to do the if spots and whatever, but if we, regardless of being a young squad, there's been several poor games that we've dropped points. Another manager maybe doesn't have the bus up with Aubameyang. Maybe without talking about the owners and what they could have done. Maybe if they couldn't bring in a striker, look to keep Aubameyang. I know Eddie scored 2 goals, and for a while Lacazette, we was letting him coast with assisting, but that's a big reason for us not to be able to break down teams. So, I mean, if you get top 4, if you somehow get that, I think you should get a new contract. If you finish top 5 to 6, the club will probably say that was in line with what we're trying to do. I don't think you necessarily should or shouldn't get a new deal. I think you're granted an extended stay. It's still possible to finish beyond, 6th. You can still finish 7th, 8th. I think it's explanatory what has to happen there if you don't do the thing. So right now, I see a lot. Like if he was to leave tomorrow, I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't sack the guy for no reason. If we was on what Roman used to be on at Chelsea, because obviously he's leaving now, and that Arteta is not necessarily doing anything wrong, but there's a somewhat youngish sort of manager more suitable to the model that we're doing. I'd like to move for, because that is a thing that Arsenal fans like to say. They sit here and go, oh, who are you going to bring in? And I'm sure your club does the same. Now, obviously, we can't just bring man in for the sake of it, but he's not done much in football, so it's not like we're replacing Wenger and all of these sort of things. And if we're trying to do this youngster thing, it's completely different from teams like Salzburg, Ajax, Dortmund. Managers leave them clubs there all the time, and a next one comes in that's kind of fits the model. So it's that. I think what's going to help Arteta is with Arsenal, unless you do extremely bad, you're not going to lose your job. And I don't think the board, I think the board like the fact that I don't think Arteta is sitting there and saying, listen, you can't do this to me in January. There's no striker here because of the role he finds himself in. More experienced managers are not on it. So it's a difficult one, man. I stick with him, man, because I think he's doing what he's doing, but I need to see a lot more, man. I need to see you sort out midfield. You were a midfielder. I thought that was the wrong role you'd address. I still don't think I think there is some positive signs, but I don't think the foundations are strong. Like there's a hole in the roof, and as you know, when it rains, it rains. If the sun's shining like it is in North London today, it's not that deep. So it's crazy, fam.
If it rains, it's an issue. So you're looking at it like, obviously, if he finishes outside the top 6, he has to be gone. If he finishes inside the top 6, his stay is warranted, but you're still assessing what is going on. So will you be more, more aggressive with your approach to him next season?
I suppose it should have been this year.
Yeah.
Like it should have,
while
it's your second full season. When this season's done now, you finished 8th. Cool, you learn. There's stuff that you can never. I do think experience is overrated, but it can't be overstated. A bit like what I say with the young players. Yeah, you might be 20 and time to develop and learn lessons hard, but you're old enough to watch your games again. You're old enough to learn. Okay, I put my hand in the fire. Don't do it again. I'm gonna burn it. I think Arteta keeps doing that, and I do feel. Maybe if you're in a situation, maybe like Tuchel or other managers, you might not exile your captain. You might not let certain players go. You might bang the door for bringing people in. There might be more urgency. I do think that's one thing that kind of helps him. He's allowed to kind of make some bewildering changes and things. I mean, it's this season really. You had money to spend. You're doing your thing. It's this season really. So to answer your question, yeah, man, like. You need to be top 4 now, really. You need to bring in players that can. Like, shit. Like,
so you're looking at it. So this season, you're looking at it like, right, you need to do the business because of the money you've spent. And if you finish top 4, all well and good. 5th, 6th, kind of okay, but it has to be top 4 either this season or next season.
Yeah, man. You got 12 months to get top 4. This season, if you get full 5th, 6th, as I said, 4th, new deal because you exceeded my expectations. 5th, 6th, extended stay. Beyond that, you need to go. Next season, nothing less than 4th. Again, we all know it's now a top 6 and everyone has to miss out on things, but you man are going to strengthen. However long the project takes is another thing, but you man are going to be a lot better. Chelsea are going to be a lot better, assuming what happens. City are regardless, them and Liverpool, they're going to get better, but they're already yards above everyone. So you need to, Spurs are trying to think. Exactly, can't rule out Spurs. They were getting it the other day. So things need to happen. You've tried to get a striker last 2 windows. You need a midfielder. I do like how this season he's been a bit harsher, but I do think it's still a bit Disney Channel-esque. I think we need to be a bit more ruthless. Like, as much as I'm happy with holding El Nene, Cedric at a point when these guys have come in, bro, these are not good enough squad depth players. Like, they might have 3-4 good games, and I'll give them their credit, but I mean, you know, we can't rewrite history, even with a certain striker yesterday for as good as he was last night. It's crazy, fam.
Well, I hear that. And yo, there's over 40 of you lot watching. Get the likes up. Make sure you get the likes up. Subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure you go follow the Twitch. Same for DG and Bainesy. Follow them both on Twitch and YouTube as well. Bainesy, what are you telling me about Arteta? What's your thoughts? Do you think he should stay? He shouldn't? What are you saying?
I think he should stay in it. Like we said this the other day. Remember when you were fighting the chat on Twitch?
Yeah, go on. What was I fighting the channel? What was I fighting the channel about it? Now, why was I asked? What was it about? I forgot.
Arteta and Arsenal.
Was it about Arteta? Oh, see, yeah, usual, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like Arsenal at the, like, say they finish around 5th/6th. That's where they should have finished, kind of thing, innit?
Yeah.
Like we said it with the 4th thing, they were probably overperforming massively at that point because everyone said if they finish 4th, that's a massive fair play to Arteta, kind of thing, innit? Yeah. That's the way I kind of look at it. I feel like people, like football fans are too fickle in it. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Arteta is the best thing ever. Now he had a bit of a sticky period, people onto him straight away, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Context is key. The squad ain't good enough either, but at the same time, this is what I said with DG the other day. Some of the players that came in are Arteta signings. Lokonga, Tavares.
That's why I'm harsher on him, because there's been certain long-lasting issues and current issues that you've inherited, but there's been certain self-inflicting things, whether you've brought players in or they've been here already. That is now your squad. And I do think, obviously, football's emotional. I don't think Arsenal fans have learnt from Unai Emery's unbeaten run. I used to get a lot of flack on YouTube because I used to say, listen, I like Emery. I only gave up on Emery that last week, famously, when he gone. But we was going on an unbeaten run, and no one cares when you're winning. But I remember Cardiff away, Lacazette and Aubameyang were doing their celebration thing, and I went, hold on, like, we've actually had to do a madness to beat Cardiff. We keep having to change things at half time, and I do think we've been a bit jammy. We're kind of in that halfway house with Mikel Arteta. This is where Arteta's one thing, but then again, you know, a bit like to go to the Ten Hag question when it was just me and you slightly earlier. The people above board, you know, I don't know. Listen, I can't tell you what Edu really does and doesn't do, but technical director, you made nothing happen in January. Like, you know, the brother that's gone into Spurs, you're seeing them sign players from the Italian leagues and whatnot. We're not on none of that. You know, the owner clearly is not a winner. So unless we can do a madness, I don't know what's going on. So it's a mixed bag, man. It's really a mixed bag. And really, he's been really respectfully, you know, as much as I like him, he's got a job that he was underqualified for. And not only that, he's allowed to make mistakes. You know, there's not really any pressure. He's allowed to alienate players. He's been given more luxury than Emery. So as much as I have more sympathy for you, I'm also a lot harsher on you because of this potential.
You've had more leeway.
You've become manager. You're not head coach anymore. You're manager now. The club's betting on you. You're getting a new deal, regardless, in my opinion, of what happens. So it's an Arsenal FC thing. It's not Arteta FC. I want you to be the guy. I still believe you're going to go off and have a good career, but I don't want you to make all your mistakes here and say, all right, cool, safe, lads, I'm going elsewhere. I know I shouldn't do this because I learned in 2022, but in 2025, I'm going to now do this. Crazy, man. I'm not on that. You've seen that happen with players. Crazy.
Yeah, because he's learning on the job at Arsenal, and that's what it is. Because I've heard people say, oh, he's a good manager for the future. But I'm like, I'm talking about now. Arsenal, where they are at, yes, Aaron Bans, but Arsenal are a club who are aiming, and well, their aim is to win now. It's not one of them places you go to try and like, I'm just gonna, like you said, make all my mistakes here, and this is where I'm gonna utilize, gain my experience, and then go on to bigger and better things later. Like Arsenal should be the end game. They shouldn't be the beginning or the middle game. Like Arteta should have been somewhere beforehand, or maybe even 2 other clubs, then to get to Arsenal. Because like you said, he wasn't qualified for the job. He wasn't. Like you
led a coaching session with Sane, Nelson, and Sterling, and you got the role. And cool, you got the role. That's going to be a byproduct of football, but I have to judge you accordingly. Because again, and for me, you can't have it both ways. You can't. Again, people make mistakes, but you can't gas up a man's potential and then keep him mediocre. If I know you can score 30 goals, if you miss a one-on-one, I'm going to be on to you a bit more. If I know you've only got 1 goal in 30 and you miss, I'm still going to be on to you, but you're not 30, are you? So you can't have it both ways, fam. It don't make sense to me. But fans got vested agendas, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what I lie about you, like in regards to, because even when we spoke on your channel and you was like, you're just very level-headed when it comes to Arsenal, and you're like, not when we win, you don't go too far, and when you lose, it's not everything's terrible, and that's what it is with Arteta. It seems like it's very much when Arsenal play well, it's all hail Arteta. I see all the Arteta right. Say, look, we're going to finish top 4. Like Arsenal fans were convinced 2-3 weeks ago, not yourself, but others convinced.
Sky Sports bloody running big pieces, man. They were for it was a wavy. I'm not gonna lie, I will take that because normally Arsenal's a free hit. There was a point you could guarantee weekend, you could make a statement. Arsenal players lack heart, desire, not playing for the thing. Yeah. Now they're switching it all up, and it was all Spurs now. Now they're making a meal of our two teams. Now they're gassing up Arteta again. They're doing 1 hour specials on Ten Hag, acting like he's gonna be in the dugout on Saturday. Crazy stuff, man. It
is, and that's where it is, and that's why I say with social media, you can't get too wrapped up in it and too reactionary because it's there and people can go to it during the game. I've seen people do that. Like if the tweets you'd see at halftime, 20 minutes into a game, and it's gonna happen with Ten Hag. People let Ten Hag land, and his first 10 minutes go wrong. There's going to be tweets out there, people saying, yo, this is all wrong. We should have never have got Ten Hag. He can't cope in the Premier League. It's like, yo, it's been 10 minutes. Like, I always say, give people a bigger sample size. And I'm like that with managers. Amen. And I'm like that with players until I make an outright statement about, I think this manager's good enough. Or I think this player's good enough. Or this player's not good enough. Or this manager's not good enough. And that's what too many people do. Like, you can't 10 games or generational talent. No, it's 10 games. Like, we gotta see. Let's see, man, for a full season and then go from there. And even a full season when you're talking generational. All right, how does he do the year after that? And there is a thing called one season wonders, where eventually now people plan for you. Once you're tagged, like we've seen that happen when people burst onto the scene. Young player, cold. Next season disappear because teams and you're now on the opposition's you're in the opposition's thought process.
Look at Saka, he gets kicked day in, day out now. There was a time where you'd go under the radar, and I'm sure there's the young players at your club, the same thing. It comes with the territory.
We've seen that with Rashford. Rashford burst onto the scene. We've seen that. Yes, he's changed and there's other factors in that, but Rashford was an unknown quantity, scoring goals on a regular basis. Then it gets to the point where it's like, all right, how do we stop Rashford now? Like, because that's what opposition managers are going to do. But back to Ten Hag, we'll go to you, Bainesy, because you're saying, you said this before, and I want you to go into further detail, how you don't think Ten Hag will be the guy to take United back to the top, but you think he'll be the guy before the guy. So how far do you think he'll go before what pull the plug? Yeah, this is what Bainesy said.
No, I think that's like the most realistic thing, in it, because expecting Ten Hag to win us a league / Champions League over the next 3 to 4 years, I think is a big ask, in it. Like I said, this, like, you know how the club is run. It's gonna take time, and I say this all the time. When are Pep and Klopp leaving? When? Because right now, I'll be honest, I don't see a manager winning a league over them. You could argue it's an impossible task, kind of thing.
It's very tough. It is very tough, but it depends on how long one.
And then it's still not enough.
It can still not be enough, but it depends on how long Ten Hag stays and them having an off season, because we've seen it happen before, where City had injuries, they had an off season. Same with Liverpool.
No, but this is the problem now. What are the chances both teams have an off season at once?
Yeah. I get you from. Trust me, it's very
tough. You have to be realistic. Look how Jurgen Klopp's the longest serving manager in the Premier League now.
Yeah.
Crazy, 6.5 years now. Closing on 7.
Yeah, because he sacked Sean Dyche, innit, Burnley. So
I'm saying crazy now. Crazy.
Pep 6 years, I think. Pep 5 or 6 years.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like you have to say, you know what, we're just miles behind them right now. It's gonna be difficult, and that's why I say I feel like Ten Hag will do everything in place for the next manager to succeed. Like, you know, when people say Oli laid the foundations, he laid nothing. Ten Hag's gonna be the guy to lay the foundations now.
No, and I feel like in the ground from. I'm saying he wobbled the foundation. You know what I'm saying? The shit slanted. We were building and the thing was like this. But go on, carry on.
Like I say this to Ten Hag, like I feel like he will win a couple domestic trophies, the FA Cup, League Cup, maybe even the Europa League next year. But I feel like he will get us to the point where maybe around March, April time we might be competing for a title, but then we'll fall short.
Well,
like, I'm not saying he won't win us a league or a Champions League, but I'm just saying it'll be very, very difficult.
It's very tough. With the league, I hear that. Champions League obviously is much different because again, look at the draw, Liverpool City being on the right side. He's already got Champions League experience. And this is not me saying he's going to win the Champions League. I said it this year about how it's very important to go deep into the Champions League and in the latter stages so players get accustomed to playing under that much pressure. Because we've seen that against Atletico Madrid when Harry Maguire, who's the captain, and it was very eye-opening to me in the interview when he said, Atletico Madrid, they always hit the deck. The ball was barely in play. And then people got mad at him for that. And I'm like, you can't get mad at him for that. That's his first knockout round tie. He's never experienced that before.
The culture
He's
shock.
never. So that's not on him. And that's why I said it was very important United get to that stage. This is why I was so adamant about wanting Manchester United to get through to the quarterfinals. Not because I don't think we would have won it. No, it's all about experience, because then the next time you're there, makes it much easier. This is why most of the time when you see teams get to a Champions League final, the first time they lose, because that experience is different. And then second time they go back, like that's what's important, is going into the last stages of those competitions. Same for league. Being in a league title race, even if you lose, can help you so much.
Remember Liverpool, the first year, that there was a year that they bottled it kind of really, and City came back and got them, and they kind of probably remembered that period, and they went and got them eventually. I think a season after the season after that. It weren't the next season. I think it was a 2-year period they went and done it.
But I bet if you ask the Liverpool players and you ask Klopp and the players that were still there, did that help? Yes, of course. Like, we know how to navigate this belt. But yeah, go on, baby. Say what you're saying, fam, about Ten Hag.
I can't remember what I was saying now.
In regards to him maybe challenging, foundations being built, and him maybe challenging for a league and United falling away.
Yeah, I think that's just the obvious thing to do. Because let's be honest, you ask anyone right now who are they taking, Ten Hag or Pep Klopp, everyone's choosing those two managers.
Oh, absolutely.
I said this, you have to be realistic. Ten Hag is the 5th best manager in the league right now.
So you're going behind Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, Conte. Yeah, that's fair.
You just have to be realistic in terms of that area, innit? Do I think he can become the 3rd best manager, 2nd best manager? Yeah, why not?
We can improve.
At this stage of his career, that's where he's at right now in my eyes, isn't it? So expecting him to win a league, hard. But Champions League, like you said, luck of the draw. Anything can happen. Look at Liverpool's won to the final this year.
The Europa League sense.
Inter Milan. Who else did they get?
AC Milan. You're saying Benfica.
Come on, man. That's an easy run. And Europa League is another thing. Anything can happen in that as well. I remember Jose's campaign when he won the Europa League. That was crap.
Who did we? I can't remember who we played.
Celta Vigo in the semi-final, I think it was.
He played with Ajax in the final.
Yeah, we beat Ajax in the final. Yeah, Ajax. Yeah, Celta Vigo. Did we play Granada or was that under Oli?
No, that was under Oli.
I only remember the Oli.
I can't remember our thing until we got to the final.
You don't, because you know what? The Europa League is one of them competitions you don't care till you get to the last stages. It's the longest competition in the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could easily win the Europa League next year, but you have to be realistic and say, we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah, because I'm with that. Like, I just want to be, because we're just so far off.
Rostov.
Just
who even are they?
That's what I'm saying. It's probably a Russian team.
Rostov, Did they play in yellow? I'm thinking they play. I could be wrong though.
You know, I just search up Rostov and they don't even come up as a football club.
I think it's like FC Rostov or something.
Yeah, man. You gotta put the FC. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, now it comes up Rostov FC.
Yeah. Where are they from?
Russia still. So
is it Russia?
I don't think you can butt them teams right now, but
this is what I'm saying. And to Wasibi says, are you doing a calling show? No, I won't be doing no calling shows. There was plans to during the international break. That's why I deluded responded by that. Because I seen what happened to Saeed and I seen what happened to Tobes, and that's why I'm not doing calling shows, people. But the plan was, I was legit that weekend was planning to do calling shows, and I seen that happen to them two during the week, and I was like, yeah, forget that.
Well, people can't behave themselves, man. People can't behave, bro. I would love to do it, but no.
Yes.
No.
That's it, man. People want to be wild and got fam.
I'm looking at the Rostov United results here. We didn't even beat them. We drew 1-1 away. And you know what's mad? I'm looking at this team here, 2017 or 2016-17, that season, yeah. I'm looking at the team. The team's actually good,
What was the team?
Sergio Romero, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Rojo in the back three. Daley Blind, Ashley Young as wing backs. Paul Pogba and Herrera, Fellaini midfield, and Zlatan and Mkhitaryan up top.
Yo, we never make it out of the hot. That is so bad.
And we do
that
1-1.
So bad.
And that
I'm saying the team is bad.
You know what's mad? At Old Trafford, we only beat them 1-0.
Bro, what's the team? Yo, we've had some trash teams over the final few.
Romero, Bailly, Smalling, Rojo in the back three. Blind, Venezia as wing backs. Herrera, Pogba.
Who was the wing back? Who was the other one?
Daley Blind and Antonio Venezia.
Oh, Valencia was the wing back. Okay, go on.
Herrera, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Juan Mata, Zlatan.
That is just no pace. That is no pace in that team. Mata and Zlatan with Daley Blind as a wing back.
No, Jose.
Oh, right. I was about to say
with Fellaini.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's his shoulder.
So
innit?
that's mad. I'm looking at their team here. Like, I don't know if maybe like if Google made a mistake here, but they only had 4 people on the bench.
Man,
Like
I
FC
don't know.
I
London.
must have ran. That must be a mistake. If that was,
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a mistake.
I
innit?
would
But
remember
United,
that one. That would be Bance, man. We'd remember
we
that
had,
one.
We had Fellaini, Rashford, Ashley Young, Michael Carrick, Jesse Lingard, Phil Jones, De Gea on the bench.
Yo, that team, our front three was Fellaini, Zlatan, and Mao. And people had the cheek to put it on Paul Pogba and say, why didn't you do more? This is crazy, yo. This is what you hear that his mid. So he was playing in midfield. It was Herrera. So Pogba was playing in the midfield with Herrera, Mata, Fellaini, and Zlatan as the attacking players, and Daley Blind at left wing back.
What do you even make of the full of this, man? I thought let me ask you a question because I know Statmans. What do you make of the Pogba thing? Obviously, there was the stuff with Norwich, and then he's come off after 10 minutes. What do you feel like
again?
That shit now, man?
It's the same thing as always. Easy scapegoat, easy to target for the fans. They'll always blame him. He's the go-to. He wasn't bad against Norwich. He didn't deserve boo. He's played worse games than he did against Norwich and not been booed. Paul Pogba, I'm talking about. He's played in bigger games and played worse than that. So it's just, I don't understand because people say, oh, it's because he's leaving. We got nearly 10 players leaving. Like, there's so many players
come out and said he's leaving.
Matic has said he's leaving. Lingard's leaving. Cavani's leaving. That's 3 off the top of my head. Bailly will probably leave. Jones will leave. There's so many players who could potentially leave. And Manchester United's poor form isn't down to him. Also, it adds into the fact we all know what it is, innit? Him being black, him being Muslim, that adds into it. Does he help himself? No. Like I've said this before about Paul Pogba, and not just in performances, I'm talking about off the field, because every time he's on international duty, he's going to say something or his agent something or both, which is cool. If you want out, and this is where I blame both Paul Pogba and the club, I've said for the longest, we should have cut ties. And he's my favorite player at the club, but I say it all the time as a Manchester United fan. If you don't want to be here, leave. And that's not a shot at him. Yeah, and that's not a shot at him because if I'm him, I don't want to be here. But why has Paul Pogba or Raiola or Pogba's people or somebody in the United hierarchy gone, this is a mess? Why is he still here? Sell him. We can get money for him. He came out and said, I want a new challenge. From when a player does that, you're on the phone. All right, we're gonna sort out this deal and get you gone. Because it's no good for anybody. It doesn't help Pogba, it doesn't help his teammates, it don't help the team, it don't help the manager. Nobody benefits. Now he's gonna walk away on a free. Everybody's tarnished. Everybody's been burnt by that deal. So that's what it is with Pogba. But listing out that team that Bainsy's just said, the abuse he gets is ridiculous. And people said, oh, he threw it in at Anfield and that. Right, so man can't get injured. No.
This is it.
Like players
he's
don't get injured
as well, and he's still playing. That's commitment levels.
And that's commitment. But yet there's Cavani, who we've not seen pretty much all year. And nobody wants to mention it, but that's because he runs around a lot and he beats his chest and I'm passionate enough. Cavani's leaving.
This is the thing.
And Cavani's done more. I mean, and Pogba's done more for Manchester United than Cavani has. This is the thing, because I've had many debates on this very show with people in the comments, on people on other shows as well, when they'll turn around and tell me Pogba's not done this and that for the club. All right, Pogba may not have hit the heights that we expected him to, but one, have we ever put a team around him to do that? No. Could he have played better? Yes, absolutely. But even if Pogba was 10 out of 10 his entire run here, United still wouldn't have won a Premier League or Champions League. It would have just been wasted. It would have been, he's too good for this team. But yet then what I don't get is then we'll put players who haven't done what he's done on a pedestal. We'll put Bruno on. United fans will tell you Bruno's done more for United than Pogba.
He's scoring and getting assists and that match of the day highlight sort of stuff.
Yeah. Pogba's helped us win 2 trophies. Yes, they're not major trophies, but they're still trophies. Bruno's helped us win what? Nothing. Same with, and the thing is, Bruno's played in better teams. Like, let's not dispute that. Maybe a worse manager, but he's played in better teams. That team he just listed out on paper is woeful. That is an awful outfit. And yet Pogba was still trying to put up numbers playing out of position. But people don't want to look at that. But then they'll tell you he's not that good, but then expect him to play 10 out of 10. Or he's not that good at what him gone, so why are you booing him? Why are you complaining about him coming off the pitch? If that's the case, that makes no sense to me. If you don't rate this player, you don't want him on the side. If Maguire came off injured, I ain't criticizing Maguire. I don't want you on the pitch anyway. So that's where that stems from. Football fans are just fickle. It's like the whole Lingard situation.
Facts, man.
People tell you, Lingard's done more for Manchester United than Bruno. He's been a part of teams that have won trophies. He scored important goals at important moments. But yet we'll hail up Bruno again. And I have to use him as the example because he's the poster boy for the problem at the club, I mean, in terms of rewarding mediocrity. And fans will say about the club rewarding mediocrity, but we hail up Bruno and gas him up. What has he done?
You have to hold yourself to the same standards, basically.
Hold yourself to the same standard. And it's mad that I've just said that, because that's just a realization I've made on this show. The fans will complain about a new contract for him, but you do the same thing.
It's like us at Arsenal, man. You know, so even when Tierney got injured, I remember the first half of the season, I tried to warn them, not in a negative way, but who Tavares is. Arsenal fans at some point were saying Tavares is the best. Some sections were saying he's the best left back at the club. So now, fast forward several months when Tierney's now injured, these same fans were getting scared. I was saying, hold on a minute. I actually think I agree with you this time, but you can't have your cake and eat it. You have to hold yourself. Arsenal, again, just because you're making me think about my club now, we'll talk about high standards and things. Some people would have said El Nene new deal. Our teams are playing each other. When El Nene played well at you lot, it's a new deal thing, you know.
It's Baines, I know you gotta go big up from, yeah.
Exactly. Peace out, Statman. But the only difference is actually that really, like Eddie and Nketiah. The only difference is I'll give him a new deal because he's young. I think there's money to be made, but a lot of fans who were slagging the man off are now just going to live on them Chelsea games and then be back to getting onto him. It's fickle, man. People, you're right, man. That's a realization I just deeped, man. People don't hold themselves to the same high standards. They just chat, really.
They chat, and that's what it is. And it's not so much the people, because someone mentioned it in the chat, and it's not people. I'm not talking about the United fans who criticize Bruno but then criticize him for getting a new deal. It's the United fans who say, oh, he shouldn't get the new deal, this and that. But then we'll hail him up, because what I don't get is why he's been hailed up. And the thing is, I think there is a decent player in there. But when I watch him and he has been poor, not only does he not get criticism, I'm like, what happened? Is it just the goals and assists? Yeah, is that what people are just banking on because we're that desperate? Because them goals and assists haven't led us to anything. It's like Harry Kane at Spurs. Like, hail up Harry Kane, quality player. Hail up his goals and his assists and his play, all you want. What has that brought to Tottenham Hotspur? And when you talk to Spurs fans, especially not so much now, but when he was on the move to City, they spoke about his deficiencies, how they've been to many semi-finals. What semi-finals has he performed in? They played in finals. What finals have you performed in? We need to hold you accountable. Like, to me, to be hailing you up, win us something. I'm even talking major trophies. If Bruno would have won us that Europa League, I'd be talking slightly different. I'd be like, all right, you helped win us a Europa League. You got credit in the bank. He has no credit in the bank with me. And most of these players have no credit in the bank with me. And the few that do, is from years back. Like, Lingard's leaving, but that's from years back. Pogba's another one. That's from years back. That's Sancho because he's new. Varane because he's new. And then, like you mentioned, Nketiah, maybe the younger players like a Dalot, like I'll be like, yeah, cool. But it's few and far between.
In the fuckery like that, yeah.
Yeah, like this is not on you. Like the fact that people will criticize and say, oh, Dalot needs to leave. I'm like, he is low down on the list of problems at Manchester United. He's been one of the very, very few bright sparks. Alanga's another one. Been one of the bright sparks in the team by just doing the basics. Like Alanga will always just work
as an
hard.
Arsenal fan, just doing the basics comment, that is something I really like, because I'll be honest, the bar's on the floor. The bar's on the floor for us up front. The bar was on the floor when Lacazette came into the team. The bar's on the floor now with talk with Eddie and Nketiah. Even with Ramsdale and Tomiyasu, I fuck with them. They're my guys. They got a lot of potential and they need to improve a lot of things. But even myself, I say all the time, Tomiyasu just had to show me he's a bit switched on defensively. Ramsdale just had to show me he could catch a ball. And I'm all right, cool. Like, you are the guys. Bars on the floor at the club now. I can't really rate great things because certain competencies are not there. Obviously you look at, I don't know, Kevin De Bruyne, he's an elite passer, but why he's so elite on top of just having stardust and high footballing IQ, he does the basics without saying. There's just certain things you've got to do. Like, it's crazy, man. There's a lot of parallels that I can see, drawing similarities with my club through just listening to you.
It's because we're two fallen giants. That's why, and it's just following instructions. That's why Alanga took Rashford's place. That's why when we go away to the Emirates, I can't believe I'm saying this, I'd rather see Alanga start than Rashford, because I know what Alanga is going to give me. Is he as talented a player as Rashford? No. Does he have the individual attributes that Rashford has? No. But I know what I'm going to get. I know with his work rate and just him tracking a fullback,
you're getting
just him closing down, minimum. Pressing, you're getting 5, 6 out of 10, and then maybe he can get a goal or an assist because he scored some important goals and that he's been effective. I know he's going to run in behind. I know he's going to give the Arsenal defense something to think about. Where
he's a thinker.
I don't worry about it. Yeah, like just running in behind type of thing. Like that's legit what it is. And yeah, Unji, you said it. Lingard's highly underrated, high football IQ. I don't understand the criticism he receives, but again, he should have left in the summer, because I don't see how he thought he was going to play. But I've said this, I'm a fan. But now it is time for him to definitely move on and for United to go again. And you're right, pyramid scheme. Flawless is the painter. Bruno got the familiar team. Yeah, he's the new shiny toy.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's the new shiny toy. You are one. That's a very, very accurate analogy. That's
Elite
legit what it
analogy
is.
Still.
Yeah, it is very, very good. Very Goody says, if you are Pogba, you'll be happy if they can't build for you, but will build for Bruno who's won nothing in his career. The thing is, I don't think they'll build for Bruno. I've said this. Can Bruno be a part of a team that is successful? Yes. But can he be first, second choice midfielder? No, I don't believe so. I think he can be a part of a first 11 or a part of a squad, but there's no way he should be first or second when you're looking at your midfielders. Otherwise, there's a problem. I've said this before. I'll say this again. No top team is taking him. No, so he's not at that age where he's like, all right, you can get better. He don't start for Liverpool. He don't start for City. He don't start for Chelsea. He don't start for West Ham. Deluded ain't taking him. I don't think he starts for Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, they're not. They have your Smith Rowes, your older guys who you look at and go, all right, they're doing something. Like that Smith Rowe finish yesterday was cold. And I've seen Arsenal for like,
Bruno, man. That's the thing. It's just a ball retention, bro. It's like it just every time I look at Bruno, it's like like you said earlier, there's a player in there, but you come with a lot of baggage. Like you like to act like a child, and you're just too wasteful in the midfield. Like both of our teams have a massive problem in midfield, and there's a massive million problems for the club, but the root of it is the middle. You know, for us, I don't know what our midfield is really saying. For you, look, you kind of the pivot isn't really the strongest, and Bruno's extremely wasteful. And you made a great point about being part of a successful team, and that question was an interesting one, because surely if you're Paul Pogba right now, you might be vexed about what the club may in theory be doing with Bruno, but you're past it now. Your contract's running up. It's watershed moment. You're just playing out the season. You probably got one eye open to November's World Cup and trying to get in the best physical mind for that. You know, I heard Pogba's got his own medical staff and things. If this season's a write-off, then you're just focused on having a good pre-season and the good opening months. And then, as you know, next season's locked off at a point. November comes, this World Cup, and however the schedule runs after that, it runs after that, man. It's crazy.
That's exactly what it is. Yo, large up everyone who's still locked in. Make sure you follow, man. Hit the subscribe button as well. Get your final few questions in for me and Deluded before we close out the show. Ali A says, but Flawless Club wanted Bruno. Liverpool played a preseason game with Sporting and he wanted him. Yeah, he wanted him, but he didn't sign him.
He wanted Julian Brandt as well. Michael Edwards said Salah.
Yeah.
What happened there? Decent signing, isn't it? Man made mistakes, fam.
That's what it is. And the thing is, if he wanted him, cool, because I could see him with that workhorse element. Again, this goes back to what I just said about him being a part of a successful side. If he goes to Liverpool, he's their third best midfielder at the very best. He's not better than Fabinho. He's not better than Thiago. So your third choice, and that goes back to my point. They wouldn't get rid of Fabinho and Thiago and go get Bruno and still be challenging for Premier Leagues and Champions League because he's not of the level of those. They use him in that system. Yeah, Jordan Henderson is a prime example. When they had Ronaldo there, they've got the Ox still there. Keita's now there who's coming into his own. And that's my point is certain players are squad players at best or fringe first team players. And that's not a shot when I say that. Not everyone can be cream of the crop. Even at Liverpool and City, not everybody's cream of the crop at Liverpool. Yes, you have your Van Dijks and Thiagos and Fabinhos and Salahs. But then you have your Naby Keitas, you have your Shimikas who will come in, you have your Joe Gomez who will come in, etc. And it's the same at City. Not everyone's great. Aki will play. You know what I'm saying Zinchenko will play. Like these players will come in and do a job at times. Like, and that's every single successful team. DG, what striker would you sign in the summer? Says Paco.
Well, again, you know, if we could throw the bag, it would be irrelevant. But I do think Champions League impacts. Truthfully, I don't know, because I feel every striker we're linked with that I just look through as a humble football fan, they all present a risk, but, you know, it'll be better than what we have. I do like Darwin Núñez. I've always been a fan of Lautaro Martinez. Personally would like two strikers. Like in an ideal world, if you could sign that sort of tier link striker and then you could get me a Jonathan David, someone like that, or even if on the cheap, if it could be done, Ivan Toney for the squad. I think we need a striker in the squad. I don't know what's going to happen with existing guys, but I just feel Arsenal's biggest problem is we stumble across a starting 11, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It takes a lot for us to chop and change, and when we do chop and change, it's unnecessary. So I would like two forwards. If money weren't a thing, then I'd say Lautaro Martinez, Darwin Núñez. I do like that Osman done at Napoli, but Karim Adeyemi as well. He's a young one, so I'd like to bring in, as I said, one of them other guys and then one of him. But he looks like he's going Dortmund, to be fair. So
where does he play? See that? This is why I fucks with the chat and people like you, Deluded. This is the first time I've heard this Karim Adeyemi. Who does he play for? Is he at Salzburg?
Yeah, man,
Okay.
whoever that team is. He's been in the Champions League. He's got a decent left foot. I think for me, truthfully, if I did sign him today, he'd probably play more off the flanks because I still think he's young. Can't really play with his back to goal per se like that. Still very much at that development phase, but he's wavy, man. He's been capped by Germany as well, man. He's wavy, man.
Salzburg, and that's the thing is we'll see this, and this ties into when people say, "Oh, there's no value in the market." No, there's strikers you can go and find in that. Like I say this all the time.
Amen.
Alias is flawless. How long will it take to close the gap on the top two? Depends. There's a lot of variables on that. It depends on the rate that Manchester United improve, and it also depends on Liverpool and City. Did they maintain the rate they're at? Did they improve, or did they slightly decline? But I would say could take anywhere from 3 to 6 years. Could take anywhere in between that, and it depends on how long Ten Hag also decides to stay. Because we could have a summer that is incredible and everybody just hits, but we could have a summer that's not so good and it takes people 2 seasons to bed in. Be interesting because I've said this before. I'll say this again. Outside of the top 3, I don't rate this league in terms of quality. So I think top 4 is the best. I don't. The fact that Manchester United, with everything that has gone on, are still legitimately in a top 4 race tells you all you need to know. There's no way we should be in a top 4 race. Not a chance.
But yet we're relegated in August, man.
You're just saying the same thing. True. They're still in with, and I bet if you ask Spurs fans, they'll tell you the same thing. So the fact that we are still here, and I think we'll be in the race till the end, I don't think we'll finish top 4, tells you all you need to know. So if we can get ourselves 4th, depending on what goes on with Chelsea, because I think they're a level below the top 2, if we can catch them, then you never know. And then that goes back to what Bainesy was saying when he was here, winning a Champions League with a luck of the draw, a Europa League if you're in it, FA Cup, a League Cup, and then it just builds and builds. And then sometimes it might just be your year. And that's all it takes.
Literally. Like Leicester.
Yeah, like Leicester. That's all it takes. Like a Leicester. Literally. Have you heard the rumors that when Raiola was talking to Manchester City about the Haaland deal, he also offered Pogba to them, and City are considering and Pogba is open to it? I didn't. Obviously, I heard about Haaland to City. Of course, I heard about that. But Pogba's been offered to Manchester City before, reportedly. I swear Pep came out and said this. It was like 3-4 years ago or something like that. But of course, why would Manchester City not be open to him? Why would Pogba not be open to it? Do I believe it happens? No, but he's a quality player. They're a quality team. Makes sense. What are you telling me, DG?
Same thing you said, man. You know, quality player, everyone's going to listen. If certain conditions can be met, it is what it is. Obviously, these agents like to play a mad game, and his agents never come out and, apart from United, now ruled out anything, you know. So, again, it could be agents playing the field, making up interest where there is. We have seen it before. But like you said, quality manager, quality team, quality player. Pogba at his age, City guarantees trophies, and obviously the carrot of improving under Pep, which you can't really turn that down as a player learning under them. So it would make sense. I don't think it will happen, but it makes sense, man.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen either, but yeah, like the rumor makes sense. But honestly, you satisfied with Ten Hag, or did you want Zidane more? Initially, when I was talking about having Zidane, I was just thinking manager. I wasn't thinking about upstairs changes. But the fact that we've had the upstairs changes, and I believe Ralph has been instrumental in bringing Ten Hag in, I'm much more satisfied with Ten Hag. Because I never thought in the next year, 2 years, that we'd see changes upstairs. I did not expect that to happen at all with United. I thought it was going to be build now, win now, destroy. Win now, destroy. Like, I never thought we'd get any form of long-term stability or potential long-term success. But now with the upstairs changing, that's changed a lot. Because I was just looking at it like the Chelsea model, where Chelsea they're always 12 to 18 months away from a trophy. Win the Champions League, win and then finish 6th. Win the Premier League, finish 4th. Like, that's been the Chelsea model pretty much under Roman Abramovich. And this is why under his reign, they've never gone longer than 2 or more years. They've never gone longer than 2 years without a trophy. And there's a reason for that, because that's their model. And is it the ideal one? No. But is it better than our one? Yes, I would take their success. They've been the most successful club in the country since Roman took over. There's a reason for that.
100%.
But hopefully we can, and I'm hoping that with the changes upstairs, there is some long-term success. Do you think Ten Hag will be the catalyst to change the culture at the club to a winning culture? I think that catalyst has come from Ralph, I'm not going to lie. And I believe Ten Hag now adds into that as well. But I believe it started with Ralph and whoever got Ralph in. And then that's going on to Ten Hag. If we do get a Paul Mitchell in, the scouts that come in, any new medical team, I believe it's all a part of it. So, yeah, it definitely could be.
Basically.
So it would be. Flawless, check out Jeremy Frimpong will be perfect for your right back position. I even know who that is. I'm not going to lie. You heard about it? Celtic lad, good player.
Celtic lad. If he's on about the right back at Celtic, he ironically used to play for City. I don't watch him religiously or know about his ins and outs, but he seems like a decent player, and the ball's on the floor for his fullback positions at United. So he is someone to consider. I take it, but yeah, he looks decent still, man.
I'm not saying he's Dutch. See what I'm saying? The chat always putting me onto people because, like I say, because United pissed me off so much. I ain't trying to watch football even outside of that too tough. Like they annoy me so much. When me watching the NBA and enjoying that, because United just irritated, man, and that. Like I'm just like, for fuck's sake.
Oh man.
But hopefully it changes. Trust me, man. It gets like that. Like you in the watching, I'm doing the Liverpool watching long, and I'm like, beforehand, I know we're gonna get beat. At half time, I'm like, the positive, we're only 2-0 down. Because it could have been, if they would have ramped it up, it could have been record settings. It could have been 8, 9, 10-0. Could have been 100% if they actually would have went for it, but they stopped. I'm saying they went 2-0 up and just started chilling, and then they scored 2 goals, and he did the same in the reverse fixture as well. But all right, well, we're gonna close out here, people. But before we go, DG, give me your final prediction on the Arsenal versus Manchester United game, and will Arsenal finish top 4?
Will Arsenal finish top 4? How long's a piece of string? If we keep fighting, you never know. I'd say if I had to bet money on it, I don't think Arsenal are going to get top 4. I'd love to be wrong. And I can't lie, I'm going to say 1-1. You've kind of converted me into believing it's going to be a draw. I was going to scream United 1-0 because I just really, I'm not confident about Arsenal at this moment in time, regardless of Chelsea. But I'm going to scream 1-1. And yeah, man, I think we'll just fall short of top 4, really, because I think we're our own worst enemies. Again, for both things, hope to be wrong, as I was on the Chelsea game, really. So, yeah, man, that's what I'd say still.
No, I hear that. So you're saying Arsenal top 4, no, and you're saying draw for the game. Yeah. I'm saying, the game, I would love to be here and be like, 2-1 United, but I don't think we break that Emirates duck. I don't see it being a good affair, even though I did say that about Chelsea, Arsenal, so I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm hoping for a United win, but it's got draw in all over it. I can see a 0-0. Or actually, no, I don't think there'll be clean sheets. I can see a 1-1, but like a scrappy 1-1. I don't think it will be exciting. Yeah, one of them game you'll forget quickly as soon as it's over.
Eddie and Nketiah sort of equalizer for us, like we saw yesterday at the bridge, man. It's one of them scruffy ones.
The ball ricocheting around.
Literally. Hackney Marshes-esque. I can't lie.
It is. But yo, DG, big up for jumping on. Let them know where they can find you or anything else you want to add.
Appreciate you for having me, man. Yeah, you can just on Twitch and YouTube, just type in Deluded Gooner, it'll be there. Subscribe and follow on that. And Bob's your uncle. Really simple business, man. Love for having me once again, bro.
Yo, anytime, fam. We're gonna definitely make this more regular. 110%.
Come on.
You will. But yeah, big up to all of you lot in the chat. Make sure you go follow DG across all socials, on Twitch and his YouTube channel as well. Same with Bamesy.
Smash the like button as well, folks. Man,
hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, for those that are watching this back, or whether you're watching this back, watching this live, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Also available on audio platforms as well. So it will be uploaded to SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes, people. So I'll do that after this show in it. But love to everyone that's locked in. We're back. When we'll be back. So I'll be on Rance's stream on his Twitch at 8 p.m. people. So tune in over there. Then I'll be on Matisse's channel at 11. And then we've got NBA tonight as well. What games? We've got 2 games coming up. NBA, T-Wolves and the Grizzlies. And is it Suns? Who's the next one after that? And the Nuggets versus the Warriors, people. But yo, I hope you lot enjoyed the show. And the ManDem United podcast will be back on Tuesday. I'm not going to lie. I may not do a watch along for Arsenal United. You may not get one, people. Depends what time I wake up, because I'm not looking forward to it whatsoever. But this has been you laughing at being serious, yo. Because I'll be up late. I'm like, yo, I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to this. But yes,
I appreciate the honesty, man.
Yo, serious, man. Yo, for real. And this has been the ManDem United podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning